this week's news, churches say no to gambling and fossil fuels. Pacific Warriors blockade Newcastle's coal port. And Asia Bibi's death sentence upheld by Pakistan's High Court.
This is InFocus Christian News and Current Affairs.
Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Record in Focus. I'm Kent Kingston, and waiting, poised for action at the news desk is my ever-vigilant co-host, Danielle Sinnott. How are you, Danielle?
Well, how are you, Kent? You make it sound so exciting.
Oh, it is exciting, Danielle, because not only do we have Christian news from around the world coming up, we also have James Standish on religious freedom issues. Sue Rad has some great tips on cooking methods. And you've got an interview, Danielle, with Dr. Angela Basnet, is that right?
That's right, Ken. She's from Nepal, and we'll be talking about the extreme effects of uterine prolapse. So stay tuned for that one.
Boy, okay. Well, let's get on with it. Ready for the news?
Sure am, Kent. Churches in Australia are pulling their financial investments out of companies they feel do not represent their values. The Anglican Diocese of Sydney voted during synod meetings to divest from companies that receive more than 10% of their profits from gambling. According to the Anglican Communion News Service, New South Wales has above average levels of problem gambling. The Guardian reports Anglican dioceses in Western Australia and Canberra, along with Anglican superannuation, have already divested from fossil fuel companies. The Melbourne Diocese is considering a similar move. The issue of fossil fuels and climate change is also concerning Pacific Islanders, some of whom are facing relocation from low-lying islands that are being gradually swamped by rising sea levels. 30 activists from 11 Pacific nations paddled traditional canoes into the world's largest coal port in Newcastle, Australia, in a protest blockade. The Pacific Climate Warriors had the canoes blessed before they launched off the beach. They say prayer has been a central part of their effort.
God is the center of our lives in the Pacific, and we know that through this whole journey, He will be with us. This is all His creation, and as the people of the Pacific, we are here to just, echo the call for people to look out for this creation that He has given us.
The Warriors were joined by dozens of local activists. Together, the flotilla delayed a bulk carrier from leaving the port for about half an hour before police cleared the protesters. The protest was peaceful and no arrests were made. Church leaders in Australia say the extraordinary brutality of ISIL militants in Iraq and Syria demands an extraordinary response. 19 church organisations around Australia have nominated November 1 and 2 as special days of prayer and solidarity with Christians who are suffering in the region. The churches represented are a broad coalition including Catholic, Orthodox, Anglican, Baptist, Seventh-day Adventist and Pentecostal churches. Solidarity Sabbath or Solidarity Sunday is being coordinated by the Australian Christian Lobby. Local churches are encouraged to register their interest. United Prayer has also been one of the responses to West Africa's Ebola crisis, with the ongoing epidemic bringing Christians to their knees. According to CBN News, churches in Liberia are packed every weekend as people struggle to comprehend the situation. Even the nation's Vice President, Joseph Boakai, has helped to coordinate weekly prayer meetings. And the international head of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Dr. Ted Wilson, called on the denomination's 18 million members around the world to devote special prayer to the Ebola crisis. After the world's Catholic bishops indicated a softening of the Church's attitude towards divorcees, cohabitating couples and gay and lesbian people, a key document has been revised to reflect a more traditional stance on the issues. According to the Catholic News Service, the significance of the official midterm report from the Synod of Bishops is being downplayed, with bishops saying it's a working document only. But after worldwide media interest and strong criticisms from conservative voices both within and outside the church, the report was edited and immediately re-released. Even after the edits, however, the bishops could not summon enough votes to approve paragraphs on communion for the divorced and civilly remarried and the pastoral care of homosexuals. Pakistani Christian woman Asia Bibi is fast running out of legal options after the country's High Court upheld her death sentence for blasphemy against the Prophet Muhammad. According to World Watch Monitor, the case has been ongoing since the mother of three's arrest in 2009, when she argued with a Muslim neighbour who said Christians were dirty. Since then, both the governor of Punjab province and the government minister have been assassinated after they expressed support for Ms Bibi and called for the end of the blasphemy laws. Human rights organisations are calling for the Supreme Court to hear Asia Bibi's case and dismiss the charges against her. When he was a newborn, doctors said Eric Barrett would probably die. But he didn't, and after intensive support, he was finally able to walk unaided at the age of 12. Eric is 16 years old now, and despite his cerebral palsy, he's loving life and still going strong. But after all the help he's received over the years, Eric, who attends Central Coast Adventist School in New South Wales, decided it was time to give back.
So forget actually Mount Everest, forget the Grand Canyon. We are here at this place of national identity and beauty and a beacon of hope. And of course, Eric, are you excited about this?
Yeah, I am.
His fundraising climb of the Sydney Harbour Bridge, 1,400 steps, was broadcast live on morning television and raised nearly $2,000 to support young athletes in his local region.
Everyone, Eric has done an amazing job. What do we think? It's fantastic, absolutely. Beautiful. Eric, give us a thumbs up, buddy.
Oh, what a remarkable young man.
Wow. And speaking of fundraising, we'd like to thank you for your support of the Sydney Adventist Hospital's Pink Glove Dance video, which was the winner of the competition. You'll be happy to know that $10,000 is now on its way to the Breast Cancer Network Australia. And in case you missed it, here's a little section of the winning video to help you celebrate.
I stretch my hands out to the sky. We dance with monsters through the night. Whoa, I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now.
And that's it for the news. Boy, it's great to see some people having fun, Kent, isn't it?
Yeah, and doing good at the same time. I love that story about young Eric climbing the Harbour Bridge. You know, good on him.
Yeah, totally inspirational, Kent. Well, stay tuned. We'll be right back with James Standish after the break.